Hello and welcome to the eFresh.com Fish and Seafood News. Today is the 16th of September and these are this week's headlines. Overseas tuna ban to lift Lincoln. Warming threatens aquatic resources. Police free hundreds of sea turtles. Lobster fishermen welcome free cuts. Caviar without cost on conscience. The Australian Port Lincoln tuna industry would benefit greatly from a decision by the European Commission to support the suspension of international trade in Atlantic and Mediterranean bluefin tuna. If member states of the European Commission agree to list northern bluefin tuna in the Convention on International Trade in Endangered Species at a vote next March, it would lead to an international trade ban. The ban would initially involve a minimum 2-year moratorium on the wild catching of northern bluefin tuna in the Mediterranean. Clean Seas Tuna chairman Hagen Stair said the extent of overcatching around the Mediterranean and the Atlantic had been known for many years. According to Mr. Stair, it will be exceptionally positive for Australia because it has looked after its wild fishery so well. Global warming might endanger aquatic life in the source regions of the Yangtze River, a recent research report on fishery resources found. A group of scientists on aquatic animals found that global warming has forced some fish species upstream, which can have damaging implications. Near the 2020 River Bridge, the research team caught several bilobed lip schizotheracans, with the largest weighing more than 750 grams, which historically have not been found in that area. The larger bilobed lip schizotheracin originally lived in the Jinjiang River. The Yangtze River is facing different challenges posed by global warming at different river sections. According to the Deputy Conservation Director of the World Wildlife Fund, it is good to know what is happening in the source regions. It will help for better mitigate and adapt to the changes. Vietnamese police removed 849 sea turtles from a fish farming cage of a man who was illegally raising them and released them into a nearby marine preserve. The man had bought the sea turtles several at a time from fishermen. He had raised them to maturity in a fish farming pen in a local bay, intending to sell them for their meat and shells. The turtles belong to the species hawksbill turtle, which is considered critically endangered by the World Conservation Union. Wildlife experts say they were not familiar enough with the case to say whether it was advisable to release 849 turtles raised in captivity into a single nature area. Police say that they had no other choice because there were no legal provisions allowing them to hold or care for the turtles. Western Australia's rock lobster fishermen have cautiously welcomed a reduction in pot fees. Minister for Fisheries Norman Moore recently reduced management fees from $147 to $112 per pot, ahead of expected cuts to the number of pots allocated to fishermen this year. With low numbers of juvenile lobsters in the water, the total allowable catch has been lowered by about 2,000 tons for the season due to begin in November. Fishermen are also expecting cuts to fishing days in the season ahead. Anthony Perotina, president of the Geraldton Professional Fishermen's Association, says in the face of the cuts, the government has to offer some savings to fishermen. He said there isn't as much management now required by fisheries. The price of caviar has tripled over the past 15 years. Sturgeon's roe now costs about 140 pounds per 50-gram jar, reinforcing, as if it was necessary, its long association with the rich and the decadent. Indeed, so concerned is the Convention for International Trade of Endangered Species, with the overfishing of wild sturgeon, that it has issued no fishing licenses this year. Sergei Trakhuk, who owns the Motra fish farm in Latvia, is trying to turn the tide by producing sustainable caviar. He doesn't kill his sturgeon like most other caviar producers. Instead, he milks them for their roe, using ultrasound technology and massage before swiftly returning them unharmed into temperature-controlled tanks. Sites has given his fish farm Motra the thumbs up. Thank you for watching the eFresh.com Fish and Seafood News. See you next time.